ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about this insane episode from Jujutsu Kaisen, which just felt like Gojo flexing, and at the same time, MAPPA, the studio, were just flexing on everybody left and right with this amazing episode. So let's get into it and see what happened. Now, it picks up from last week with Gojo stopping the car, and Jogo, the curse, the volcano head one, coming in to kill Gojo. He really didn't know what he was getting himself into. Poor guy, walking into that one without using his head. Now, his powers also seem to be very Vulcan related, so to say, as per his appearances and last episode when he was burning people alive. And he's also able to manipulate Earth in a way, so actual volcano powers, because he makes a small volcano in a wall and blasts Gojo. Gojo, this is where I got very interested in his power, the way it worked, and it gets a bit explained in this episode. With how he was blocking that fire, looked very weird, like he was stopped in motion. Just the animation, honestly, they put so much effort. It felt like they were burning money, like a movie budget effort with this episode. Everything was just full of color, choreography, animation, design, especially the art style also. And that fire just kind of stopped and started moving slowly a bit, but that will make sense. Now, Gojo was just having fun the entire episode, the time of his life, enjoying every single second of it, and just messing around with the cursed Jogo. Now, of course, it doesn't work out for him with that volcano hit, and he summons these insects, which start attacking Gojo. Gojo uses his powers again to stop them. They also explode. And this is where that fire, the way it stopped and it looked. Now, the curse Jogo feels very smug. Yeah, I won very easily, expected more, and so on. But surprise, nothing personal, kid. That moment over there, Gojo was still fine behind him, just dusting off. That's it. Not even phased, I don't care. And yeah, he starts explaining to him how exactly his power works, saying that his attacks didn't hit him. And he tells him that infinity, the reason why his attacks didn't hit him, because they hit the infinity that exists between them. And I liked how Gojo just handled the entire episode, even willing to offer an explanation for his powers. Jogo was of course apprehensive at the beginning, and just Gojo asks for his hand. Lewding, I know, it's very lewd moment between Gojo and Jogo. The relationship, hey, it reached the climax over here. We're in romance territory. Now, he's, like I said, he's not very willing at first, but he goes through with it mainly because of curiosity, and he sees that he can't touch his hand. Now Gojo starts explaining, saying he is not stopped. He can't touch it because the closer he gets, the slower he moves. Also, now this is very interesting concept how it actually works. I'm sure there's gonna be somebody who has a scientific explanation with how exactly his power works. Somebody said, I read it in a Reddit comment after the episode, that the way his power actually works is he manipulates the space around said object, and that's how he's able to manipulate everything. Now, maybe readers from the manga know more about his powers, how he got it, the main mechanic behind it and everything, but maybe we'll get there with the anime. Now, as for this episode, Gojo actually lets him touch his hand. I know, going even lewder. Honestly, I was losing my mind this episode. Now, as soon as he let him touch his hand, he grabs it and just begins pummeling with the first. it felt like he blew out his stomach from his mouth and keeps on pummeling and hitting and hitting him. Now, we also get into more serious technique because Gojo activates his curse technique, reversal red, and oof, it looked so good, and actually blasts him like a full Kamehameha way of energy blasts, and just begins to toy with him like a ragdoll, punching him, throwing him all over the place, and the music that started after the blast. Ooh. Honestly, they blew the budget on this episode. Now, it gets even more insane because after this guy, the curse, when he was launched into the lake over there, he had a reflection questioning his life choices, how he got to that moment, what happened, how he's in that situation, remembering what Geto told him about going against Gojo, that it's better to seal him than to actually face him head on, and that he's gonna die. Like, everything flashed before his eyes there, just looking up, not knowing what was happening. Meanwhile, Gojo, while still enjoying himself, had a brilliant idea and decided to turn everything into a teaching moment. Class is in session with Gojo Sensei, and goes on to grab Yuji, who was still doing his movie training. And I like the references. Yuji was actually watching Lord of the Rings over there with Sam and Frodo. Gotta love it. The reference being inserted at the perfect time, and the perfect reference. Remember to watch Lord of the Rings, even rewatches, best movie series. And Gojo was actually very pleasantly surprised with Yuji improving this fast. Even he wasn't expecting that Yuji was this advanced, so to say, because he was able to handle that doll during the movies, the emotions, control of it. Even when Gojo surprised him by wanting to talk with him, Yuji got a bit startled, scared, but he didn't wake up the doll to punch him. Now, Gojo got even more excited about this, saying they can accelerate the training and so on. Now, he says he's there to grab him to extracurricular activity, so to say. Extracurricular. I can't speak anymore. I'm losing my my voice and my tongue, so to say. Now, he actually goes and grabs him. That curse Jogo was still questioning his life choices. After he comes back, he says, "Where is Gojo?" And the second he finishes his question, Gojo is there with Yuji in arm, just in time to bring him. Now, Jugo knows that Yuji is Sukuna's vessel. He's also very curious as to why he's here. He knows he has to get Yuji to be on his side, and pretends to not know what exactly Yuji is. And for some reason they were also able to be on water, like Chakra from Naruto, just float above it. Maybe it was Gojo just slowing down their descent into water. I don't know, but for some reason they were Jesus walking on water over there. And of course, Yuji didn't know what was happening, why he's there, how he got there. Let's talk a bit about the teleportation. How did that one work? Did he fold space? Wormhole? Did he decrease the distance between them the same way that curse technique reversal, the way he blasted something outwards instead of stopping it? Somewhere along those lines with the warp. And I don't know, maybe we'll get explained how exactly his techniques work, all of them, later on. Now, like I said, Yuji is there just as an observer, using it as a teaching moment or learning moment for him. And this is when things heated up, so to say, because Gojo says, "Don't worry about it, just keep on fighting." Jogo didn't take that very well, because hey, you have somebody here, wouldn't that slow you down? Nah, dude, I'm fine. Because you're just weak, don't worry about it. And that just blew him all over the place. He got very triggered, he blew off multiple caskets, not a casket. His entire head started exploding. He didn't take that very well. And this is where class gets back in session, because the curse summons his own domain expansion. This is the main power of the episode. A lava territory of some sort, same way as his powers, just more amplified. And the name was Coffin of the Iron Mountain. Pretty cool name, if I do say so myself. Now we get explanation from Gojo as to what exactly is a domain expansion or innate domain. Is cursed energy and cursed techniques. Use cursed energy to expand it and add cursed techniques to it. And we also see that the one in the detention center was incomplete, and if it was complete, they would have actually died, and Megumi probably realized this. Every time I think about his name, Megumi, I think about Megumin from Konosuba, and where is season 3? Come on, let's be serious. Give us season 3. Now, back on the powers with domain expansions, we see that when you activate it, you also get stats buff to yourself, and something very interesting happens. Because, as you guys know, the way his power worked up so far, Gojo's power, he wasn't able to be attacked. He was able to stop or slow everything down to infinity. Now, when you are in a domain expansion or an innate domain, every hit inside there is a guaranteed hit. Like, no matter what, this seems to be a rule of the entire mechanic, so to say. Now, I don't know why exactly that is the rule, but that seems to be the rule moving forward. Now, we see there are multiple ways to deal with this. You either take it on with another technique to stop that hit coming to you, or you try and go outside, but that's mostly impossible most of the times. And yeah, Jogo, while Gojo was having his own explanation about the domain expansion things, he got very triggered that he's weaker than Gojo, and his entire worldview felt a bit broken. He was more upset that the difference between them is this big than that he actually fell to heal him. Now, his pride kind of blew him all over the place, so to say. Now, back to the classing session with Gojo, we see that the most effective way to deal with the domain is to use your own. Now, this is where, honestly, damn, things got art style up to 11, up to infinity. I was just speechless how everything looked, and it seems the more refined one will dominate that space, saying you can overwhelm another person's domain, either with more cursed energy, or yours being more refined, as in more you have more control over it, or more powerful. Now, also sometimes compatibility and the amount of curse energy is a factor, so it depends. Some powers may not be compatible with others, some may be more compatible, environment also, so there might be multiple factors coming in. Maybe it's gonna play an important role moving forward with future enemies and so on. I'm curious if there's somebody who actually is the natural enemy of Gojo, like somebody who has the perfect domain or curse technique to go specifically against him and actually able to win, because he seems like invincible right now. I don't know. Is somebody actually able to go against Gojo? Because it gets even more insane. Gojo's domain starts being activated. He begins to take off his mask, my bad. And damn, those eyes. Look, I'm a straight guy, but damn, Gojo, you got me questioning. I'm joking. Those eyes, you can get yourself lost in those eyes. Now, his domain is infinite void, and everything just starts hyperspace, infinity over there. You can see the world, both of them moving molecules, atoms, the way the universe is made. I don't know, maybe he's controlling the expansion of the universe, his Big Bang, gravity. You see this black hole and ink all over the place. It just looked breathtaking, honestly. Hey, Keanu Reeves over there. Just point Keanu Reeves at that entire scene, the way it looked. Even I felt like I had the same reaction as Jogo. The curse was confused. He didn't know what exactly was happening, saying, I don't see anything, I don't feel anything. But after he starts realizing a bit what was happening, saying, I see everything, I feel everything. Basically, he was connected to the world or the universe in this case. Now, we see, according to Gojo, this is the inner world of limitless perception and communication, just everything connected. And the way he explained this domain, he said, every action required for living is forcibly carried out infinite number of times. Like, everything you do is just amplified by infinity. What do you do against that? How do you fight against that? How? How do you defeat infinity, honestly? With infinity plus one? What? What do you do? How? Now, it makes sense why they chose to seal him instead of fighting against him. Like, how? How do you fight Gojo? There's no way, honestly. From what I've seen so far, I don't know how anybody would actually be able to defeat him unless he has an actual natural enemy, or by surprise. I don't know. Maybe we'll see an opponent against him who's actually able to fight him on equal terms. Who knows? But yeah, back with the domain over here, with Jogo being caught into it. It's not looking good for him, but he gets a bit lucky. Gojo doesn't want to kill him instantly because he says, I want answer, I will not kill you. Just proceeds to rip up his head, and oof, the way it looked. You can play that one on repeat, the way it looked over there, the art, like painting. Now, that's modern art over there. That should be art in a painting, not what you have modern art nowadays. Put that entire image of his head getting torn off, frame it, and hang it on your wall. That's what you need to have art of. Now, he's just a head now, because why not? That's all that's left of him. And Gojo just wants to interrogate him, get some answers of him. Now, meanwhile, we also see Geto and the other curse, Hanamiya, if I remember his name correctly. They're watching this entire thing happening from a cliff above. And Geto said something very curious here. He said he has to hide his face from people from the school. Now, is he, like I said before, is he a traitor from the Jujutsu school? Does he have some connections with somebody there? Was he a student? Was he a teacher? Is he related to somebody? I don't know, this got me even more interested as to who exactly he is, and honestly how powerful he is. Because he's also very calm, so to say, chill, doesn't take things very seriously. I'm curious how he acts when he's mad, because we've just seen him in his natural state with a bit of evil on the side, the way he smiles. Now, he also asks the curse Hanamiya, do curses actually feel the emotion to save one of your own? The curse said, yes, of course, we are the true humans. Okay. I think they said that a few episodes ago also. They consider themselves the actual humans compared to normal humans in this case. And things, I don't know how to say about that. What, did they started feeling that for themselves, or did somebody plant that idea in their head, like manipulated them a bit, or Was it something that formed on their own, so to say, this concept or idea that they are the true human, or is it just simply pride? They consider themselves better than humans because they're more powerful in a way. Now, while they were getting out from the domain with the head, like I said, he was being interrogated over there. Hanamiya decides to go in and save him, and his power seems to be plant flowers related because he attacks them, gets them a bit by surprise, and his powers worked a bit like a calming effect, taking the will to fight from them. Even Gojo was a bit caught into it. He had to slap himself to snap out of it. And he also uses Yuji as a decoy, attacks him with a plant tentacle thing, making Gojo decide as to either save Yuji or go after him, Hanamiya grabbing the head and just making an escape for it. Gojo, of course, saves Yuji, and Hanamiya escapes with Jogo. Now, Gojo was still in his own fantasy fun world, enjoying everything that was happening, even though the curses escape. Was getting very intrigued into it, that curses are actually working together, curses of this level, and saying that Hanamiya is even more creepier in a way, or implying that he might be stronger than Jogo, or maybe his personality, the way he handled the situation compared to Jogo just being a hothead in both senses, personality wise and appearances wise, and powers also. Now, Yuji in the background was just saying sorry for getting caught, apologizing left and right, bowing down. Gojo was just ignoring it completely, having his own inner monologue about what happened. And after this, he says that his plan is for Yuji and the others to be strong enough to beat a curse of Jogo's level. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. He's also gonna start accelerating the schedule to train all of them, even start fighting with him. Are we gonna see Yuji versus Gojo? Missions are gonna start, harder and harder missions for him to learn the basics and actually apply them, and then show them off in the event, the exchange event with the school. Now, Yuji of course had no idea what this event was because Gojo forgot to tell him anything. Why not? He escaped his mind, honestly, being too focused on having fun. Now, meanwhile, the director and Ishchi, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name, were waiting for Gojo. He was supposed to meet with them, and of course he's late. He got sidetracked. Poor Ishchi over there in panic mode, alone with the director. Didn't know how to handle the situation. Is Gojo actually gonna go there, or just gonna go home and relax after having fun so much? Now, after this, we see Geto goes into this building, enters a room, but instead of it being an actual room, he's somehow on an island with a beach. I felt like I was watching a bit of Doctor Who, entering something that teleports you somewhere, or just bigger on the inside than on the outside. And we meet this mysterious character. Is he the main villain? I don't know, those are the vibes I got from him. Seems to be a bit playful, but also very, very suspicious, and kind of a bit crazy, honestly, by the way he was, the impression I got from him, the feeling I got from him, so to say. Also have Jogo and Hanami coming back, with Hanami just having Jogo like a carry-on purse over there. Geto even started teasing them a bit about their situation, and reconfirming that they have to seal Gojo when they're ready, to even put their plan into motion in October 31st, if I remember correctly. Now, this new mysterious characters, we actually get his name, Mahito. Looks a bit like Frankenstein with the stitches on him. His design is very cool, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to see what exactly he is. Is he a curse? Is he a human? Is he some sort of hybrid, I don't know, from the stitches, half curse, half human. Maybe I'm just reading too much into stuff. Honestly, hybrid might actually make sense. Food for thought. Damn. Would be nice if it was an actual hybrid. Is that even possible? We'll see, hopefully. And yeah, very curious about him. Now, the end credit scene, as is customary with Jujutsu Kaisen, it's of course Mahito and Geto on the beach, warming up a bit, getting ready for some activity, to play some football or soccer, however you wanna call it. It's full, but by the way, hand egg, remember that. And with Jogo's head as the ball, because why not? Perfect environment, perfect ball, just to let off some steam and a bit of punishment for him, because he kind of deserved it, just going on his own without talking to everybody and doing his own thing. And yeah, was a pretty fun match. We had Mahito and Geto being the attackers. Hanamiya was the goalkeeper. Mahito just kicks him. My bad, Geto kicks him. Mahito does a backflip hit over there, scissor style, and scores a goal. Yeah. Can I join in on that match? I would love to kick Jogo's head. Honestly, I was just blown out of the water with this episode. Just complete insanity. Gojo didn't stall the show because he was the show. This episode, it felt like the Gojo show, with everybody else just being a side character. He was in control of everything. If you guys have seen Bakano with Vino, I got the same vibe from him, just being in complete control of every situation. Nobody was an opponent for him. Everything was happening according to his plans or what he wanted in that specific situation. And I highly recommend you guys watch Bakano if you liked the way Gojo was this episode. Trust me on that. Please check out Bakano. Now, as for Jujutsu, it's crazy. I don't know if any series or any episode is gonna be able to even come close to episode 7 from Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know. Hopefully we're actually gonna get even season 2, because the series has a lot of potential. Might be, I don't know, maybe anime of the year, at least for me, from what I've seen so far. It keeps going like this, and I wouldn't see why not, because each episode got even better and better. Probably next episodes aren't gonna be as hype, so to say, as this one, but hey, the world is awesome. The characters are probably the best thing from Jujutsu. You have Gojo, you have Nobara, you have Yuji, you have Zenin, also the reactions, the faces, the panda, don't let me forget the panda, please. Also this mysterious one, Mahito, the director, all the shenanigans. We haven't yet met all of the other schools, all of the students also. There's so many stuff, the curses, Sukuna also. Honestly, it's an amazing series. I'm happy I got into it. Now, I leave off the question to you guys. What do you guys think about this episode? I would love to get your reactions down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Thank you very much for watching, and keep enjoying Jujutsu Kaisen. I'll see you on the next one. Remember to like and subscribe. It really helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos. Thank you again. Have a good one. Bye bye.